Hey y'all, this is Nancy again, and I had a question from retired art teacher. Shout out to her. She said she wanted to know how I did my cross stitch spines. So I was going to attempt my first tutorial here and show you how I do my spines. Now this is a book that I've got the basic part ready. I've already, and you'll see it upside down because the way my camera angle is, but I have my pages, my signatures ready, and this one's going to have 3 signatures. So this is what I do sometimes. I get the pages together and I sew them, and it's not very neat because I don't worry about it too much. It won't show. But I sew them with a wide stitch on my sewing machine to keep them together. You don't have to do that. I've done it both ways. I've done it where I just clamp them together, clip them together with clips, and hold them, and then sew them in the binding. And other times I've done this where I stitch it. Now you have to use a big loose stitch on your sewing machine so you don't perforate the paper so that they rip out like the old-timey stamps or something. But anyway, I bought this recently, the We Are Memory Keepers, I believe it's called binding tool or something. And I like it because you don't have to put a phone book underneath or a big thick book to poke your tool. It actually keeps it from poking through. When you use your little tool, you can actually clamp this between the blue bar. This little blue bar comes off. And you can clamp this down, and it helps line up your holes. And you can poke through, and you don't have to worry about poking through to your other surface. So my holes aren't terribly straight, but they're there, and they're not straight because I didn't worry about it too much. I mean, this will help attach my signatures to the binder, to the chipboard, but it won't, it's not going to really show, the holes in the sewing. Now I want to make sure that I have my pages the correct way. So, and I want to make sure I have them in the right order. So I know how I want my signatures, and I went ahead and I punched my holes. Now this backing is, I made it from pieces of chipboard, and I covered it with packing paper from my Amazon boxes, and then I used Distress ink on it, and I used I think I used matte medium, and then I put Mod Podge over the top later because I decided I wanted it glossy. Right now there's a seam that shows, but I plan to put lace here anyway, so it won't really matter. I thought about not cross stitching since I'm putting lace there, but then someone asked me how to do it, so I'm just going to show how to do it. It might show through the lace some, I don't know. So, this side, what I do is I have bookbinding tape underneath this. There's bookbinding tape, and then I put paper on top, and then I put fabric down the middle. So I'm trying to make sure the spine is sturdy and it stays together. There's a little area I can see right there that I need to distress where it's showing. Well, I didn't get it very well, but so anyway, I'm going to try to attempt to show how you cross stitch. Now, one thing, you can use waxed thread like this. You can use, which I've heard of people using dental floss, embroidery thread. The embroidery thread may break. Any kind of like you can get thicker thread, that's a thicker thread that you can use. I go ahead and use this twine a lot just because it's pretty and it holds it very well. So you want to make sure when you're cross stitching the seam, it's going to take more thread than normal. So normally people get like 3 lengths. I try to get more. For one thing, I have a hard time seeing to thread my needle. For another, it's going to take a lot of thread to cross stitch, and you really don't want to change your thread in the middle of one column. You have to do 2 signatures at a time. So here's my first signature, and it gets kind of fiddly. So here's my second signature. I'm making sure they're this is one reason it helps to sew them together ahead of time. You can even hand stitch them ahead of time together. I make sure they're right side up, and I've got the ones in the middle that I want there. Let me make sure, because my middle one's a little bit different than the 2 end ones. I guess it really doesn't matter, but I just had a certain way I was doing the papers. Okay, so you decide first of all, do you want your little end in the middle, or do you want it on the outside? If you're cross stitching, you probably want your end on the inside because you want the cross stitch to show and not any ends sticking out. You could weave beads or buttons through it if you want to. I like the simplicity of the cross stitch. So what you do is you already have your holes poked, and you already have your holes poked in your board. Now what you have to do is you're going to have even amount of holes. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 going down, and then 8 for this signature and 8 for this signature. Now it doesn't matter that there's 3, because I can go through the middle section twice. I can do my X's over here and then another row of X's or column of X's over here. It doesn't matter. When I've had 4 before, I just connected the extra one in the middle, just to make it look nice. You can do it however you want. You can make some of the X's bigger, you can make them smaller. So anyway, I have 8 on here because you want enough to make, you have to have an even amount to make your X's, like when you're cross stitching. You can get real fiddly with it and make sure, I can get OCD sometimes and want all my X's to cross the same way, or you can make it where they cross a different way, where where the thread on top crosses one way and the thread on the bottom crosses the other way. You can do it where all of them cross the same way, or where they cross opposite ways. Anyway, what you're going to do is you have to work your way down the spine making your X's. So I'm going to see if I can get this where you can see. I'm going to go through my second signature, and I'm going to go down 2 holes. So I've got, let's see if I can go 1, oops, my computer went off. I'm trying to make sure you can see me. Here's my first hole. I'm going to skip down to my second hole, and I'm going to put my needle through the second hole. Then I'm going to go through my middle hole on my spine. I'm going to go 2, skip the first hole, go down to the second hole. So I'm in my second hole on my second signature, and I'm going to pull that through, and I made my string extra long, so just be careful, take your time, pull it through. And it's a good idea, I didn't bring one in here, but it's a good idea to clamp this to the pages so you don't lose it, but I didn't bring it in here, of course. Okay, so I have my string going through my second hole on my second column, okay? And I'm on my second signature. Now, I will make sure my signature is the correct way. I'm going to put my first signature in, and I'm going to do my X. So when you cross stitch, you're making X's. So I'm going in the top, and see, I made that one loose. It's okay, I can tighten it in a minute. I'm going in my top hole on my first column in my first signature. So when you cross stitch, you're doing 2 at a time. Now I'm going to make sure I'm going in the top hole of my first signature, okay? And then I'm going to pull that needle through, and you could even clamp these two together to help you. I just like the way this looks. I think this is my favorite way to bind these. Is to, and my kids are playing in there, so if you hear them, I'm so sorry. But see, there's my first stitch. I've gone from my second hole, second signature, to my first hole, first signature. Now, when I go back in, I'm going to come out this first hole. I'm going to come out this first hole right here. Okay, because you have to work your binding. You have to work your way out. So you go in the second hole. See, this would be when it's great to have it clamped. Like I said, I don't have mine in here, but it'd be great to have it clipped. Okay, so then you pull it all the way out. Now you want to start making sure you're getting it tight. You don't want to pull it too tight because it will break. Okay, so you go in the first signature, the second hole. See, and I came out there. Now I have to go in the second signature, the top hole. So second signature, top hole. Okay, so second signature, top hole. Just a minute, let me I'm gonna stop right here for a minute. I have my first cross stitch done. Alright, so now I'm in my second signature. I have my tail, and I have, this one's a little loose, so I'm going to tighten it a little bit. Don't pull too hard because this will break if you yank on it too hard. So you just want it a little bit snug. Okay, and then I'm going to go down to my second, no, it's my third hole. Oh, it's so hard to video and do this at the same time. I'm going to go down to my third hole, and I'm going to come out my third hole. I don't know if you can see that, on my second signature. So I'm going to come out my third hole on my second signature, and that's going to make me, I'm going to watch my little tail, that's going to make my thread come down through the middle. That's why I like the pretty thread, because it will show, or you can put an envelope in the middle and hide it. That's up to you. So I came out this one, Now I'm going to go back over to my first signature, and I'm going to go in this hole where I already have my X. Now, don't forgive me a minute, I got to find the hole. So you're going to have to find the hole in your first signature, and you already have a thread coming out there. That's okay. I'm going to tighten it a little bit because I'm fiddling it around to show the camera, and I'm not keeping it as straight as I would like. So you can, at this point, still pull on the threads and you can tighten everything. Just have to be careful. See, I'm pulling on the wrong one right there. You just have to be careful and make sure you're pulling on the right strings. So okay, so now got it tightened down. I came out my first signature, trying to get my thread situated here. You got to be careful that you don't get all tangled up. I came out my first signature, okay, and I'm making my X right here. So I'm going to go in my 1, 2, 3, the third hole down in my first signature. Can't see, excuse me, because I'm not on camera right now. Gotta find where to put in. So I came down 3 holes in my first signature, and you pull that. Don't let your thread get tangled up. Pull that all the way through. Make sure you're all the way through and your thread is straight. Pull it a little snug, but don't pull too tight because you will break the thread. Okay, and then I have part of my X done. I've got to go back in to the top, the second hole of the second signature. And this is going to be where I already have a thread in, but it's okay. You're still going to go back in. Try not to split your thread when you go back in. Okay, so you go back in. Now I'm inside my second signature, and I did kind of split my thread. I guess it's not going to hurt too bad. So I go down 1, 2, 3 to my fourth hole. Sorry, trying to get my... Oh, come on. Trying to find my fourth hole. Just a minute here. Okay, so this is so fiddly, it's hard to show on the on the camera. Okay, so I'm coming out my 1, 2, 3, 4th hole on my second signature. Pull it, and see, the thread will show, but it's going to, I like the look of it. So you're going to pull it through that hole. Now you're going to go back in to the first signature, the 3rd hole. And you already have a thread there. I'm trying to show this. Okay, you already have a thread there, but it's okay. So you're going to pull it through. Okay, and then you're going to go in your first signature, 1, 2, 3, 4, your 4th hole. Okay, and see we're leaving little stitches all the way down. Then I'm going to go back into the second signature, the 3rd hole. Okay, there's my little tail. Okay, and you may need to pull them tighter. If it was loose when you pulled it before, you can just pull on the threads. You don't want to pull too hard, but you can pull it. You can pull it a little tighter. Okay, now we have our threads tighter. Alright, now I'm going to go, oops, that X right there is not making me happy. Let's see. There we go. Sorry, you can't see what I'm doing. I'm just pulling the threads tighter. Alright, so now I'm in my second signature. I'm going to skip down to my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th hole. Skip down to the 5th hole. Pull your thread through. Okay, and then you're going to go into your first signature, your 1, 2, 3, 4th hole where you already have a thread going through. One, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It should be right there. Oops. I got caught on something. Okay. Okay, now I'm going out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going out the 5th hole. Excuse me, I keep forgetting there's a camera. Okay, I'm going out the 5th hole. Wait, sometimes it's easier just to go through and then go through the signature and then go through the board. Okay, pull that tighter. Then I'm going through the 1, 2, 3, 4th hole on the 2nd signature. And I can see my threads are a little bit loose, so I need to go through and tighten them a little bit. Okay. And then I'm going to go through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the 6th hole on the 2nd signature. Trying to work with my thread a little bit. It's getting all twisted. Okay, so I'm through my, let's see, can you see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hole. Make sure it's tight, and then I'm going to go through my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th hole on my 1st signature. I'm going to pull it to me just a minute so I can see where I'm going with this. Okay. Had to see where my hole was. Okay. So, I'm going to pull it tight. Now, I don't want to pull so tight that I break the string. Okay, so now I'm going through my let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going through the 6th hole. I cannot get the okay. It's so hard to do this on camera. And then I'm going back through my 2nd signature. Gonna find the middle. Second signature, I'm going to come up through the chipboard first, and then I'm going to go through the signature. I'm going to have to pull it to me for a minute to find where to put my needle. Okay, I cannot see you. There. Okay. Now, Make sure my thread came all the way through. Still have my tail. Pull it snug. Unravel your thread because it likes to get raveled. And it'll get all knotted up if you're not careful. It can be real fiddly to do this. Okay, so everything's tight. That's not. I'll pull it tighter. Okay, I got everything tight. Alright. Now I'm going to come back through my second signature. I'm going down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm on the 7th one. So I'm going to go down through the 7th hole. And the 7th hole in the... I know you can't see what I'm doing right now, but I had to see. I had to see how to put the needle in. Okay, so I'm going through the 7th hole, making sure my thread is tight or snug, not super tight. You want to be able to move it a little bit. Okay, so I came through here. Now I'm going to go back through my first signature. Gotta untangle my thread a minute. Okay, so I'm going to go through my first signature. And I'm going through the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hole where I already have a thread coming out. I'm trying to do this without pulling it over to my closer. Okay. Make sure your thread came all the way through. Now I'm going to go through my first signature, the 7th hole, which it does not look like I got that one real straight, but okay, Nancy, where's the hole? I know you're there. There it is. Okay. Alright. So I'm pulling it through. Seems like I can do a better job of this when I'm not trying to show how to do it. Okay. So I've got that through. I don't have that one too straight, but it'll be okay. Alright. So got that through. Now I'm going to go back through my second signature. So this is my second signature. I know I've got everything all upside down and whopper-jawed, but that's my first signature. This is my second signature. I'm going in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going back in 6 to make my X. So I'm going back in the second signature. The 6th hole. Pull it all the way through, make sure it's through. Okay, and then I'm going in to the 8th hole on my second signature. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. I'm going out the 8th hole. Okay, and then I'm going back in the first signature, the 7th hole. Okay. And then I'm going in the 8th hole on the first signature, the 8th hole on the spine, this is why it's so much easier to sew the signatures in together by themselves first, because this can get complicated, especially if you're doing more than 2 or 3 signatures. It gets real fiddly. So I've got that one through my last hole. So see, my stitches could be more even. It's really showing up on the black. So I could put, you know, I could worry about it and try to fix it or not. I mean, it's handmade. So, it's not going to be perfect. But here I am. I'm going through my last cross stitch on my second signature. It's the 7th hole. And we'll go up through the please forgive me, I'm going to have to pull it toward me again. I can't see where to put my needle. Okay, there it goes. Now, I'm going to pull this through. Don't let your thread get knotted. You don't want to break it now after all that business. Okay, so I'm pulling it through now. This is what I do when I reach the end. I normally weave it back through. I usually weave it back through just the ends. And then I take my needle off, and see, I have a lot of extra left. That's okay. I'd rather have extra. I've got plenty of this twine. It's not expensive, and I'd rather have extra than not have enough. What you do, pull it a little, not too tight because I have broken them. Oh, and then I've been upset because you have to start all over. And just tie it snugly. I'm going to cut some of this off. My fingers just don't work like they used to. You just tie it. You can tie it in a bow. You can tie it in a knot. I like leaving long ends. Then you can put charms or beads or die cuts on the ends to make it pretty. But I leave it long for now, and I can cut it later or tie something to it. Now this is a little looser than I normally do. It's been a challenge. I didn't realize how challenging it would be to show you how to do it on the camera. And usually it doesn't show this much on the page. You know, you can see my bumpy stitches, but it's on black. So I'll either do something to cover that, or I'll tighten it a little bit. Your cross stitches look like this. I will go ahead and show you how to do this side. You do it the same way, only now you will put in your next signature, and you will sew it into this other one that you just did. So, here we go again. So you get another length of thread, and again, you know, last time I did 3 like you would normally do for a signature, and then I think I did like 3 more, and I had a lot extra, so I'll do 2 more. Like I said, it's better to have extra than to not have enough, because you don't want to have to piece it together in the middle or have to stop and redo it. And I'm challenged at threading, so please be patient with me. Fast forward through the threading bit. It's bad to get old where you can't do this stuff as quickly as you did when you were young, whatever. I remember helping my mother thread her needles, and now I need help. Okay, so this time, because I don't want to leave another tail in the second one, I'm going to start in the third one. Okay, and as you can see, it's stitched in there. It's going to hold. I mean, it's well stitched with the cross stitch method. Alright, so now I have my holes already in this one, and I'm going to lay it where it belongs, and I'm going to start on the second hole down again, like I did the other one. So I'm going to start on the second hole down. I'm going to start, I don't know if you can see that. I turned the autofocus off because it was driving me crazy. So I'm on my second hole down in my third signature. And I'm going to pull this string out. Too many strings. I'm going to pull this string out until I have a tail. I want to leave a tail. Okay, and this is when it's a good idea, if you're smarter than me, to clamp it with a clip. Okay, so I'm out this third signature, second hole. So I got to go back to my second signature, first hole. Okay, so and I'm sorry I'm out of frame right now. Second signature. Sorry, I'm going to learn more camera skills, I promise. But I don't know if I'll do it while I'm cross stitching, because this will drive me crazy. Where are you, hole? Maybe I should have just done this off camera. Okay, there it is. Oh, I found it because it went through my finger. You know what happened? This one fell out. Okay, I'm going to pause for a minute. I don't even know when I'm recording. This is crazy. This book is legit driving me out of my mind right now. So, I don't know what's making it in this tutorial, okay? But, I finally found the hole I was trying to go in. So, I don't even know where I stopped. But, I'm in my second signature. I'm on my... which hole? I don't even know anymore, because this is crazy. Let me see. I think I'm in my 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I'm in my 5th. Let me see. This thing is driving me crazy. I don't know if I'm even going to put this tutorial up, because okay, which hole is that, Nancy? Which hole did you just go through? I don't even know. Oh, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5th hole. Second signature. The fourth hole just about killed me. Okay, so. Oh, this is not going well for a tutorial. Alright, so third signature. 1, 2, 3, fourth hole. So I'm going to go in the fourth. Okay, sorry. I might have to pull it over here so I can see. Fourth hole. Oh, this is going to take 2 years to upload, people. Because it takes too long. Y'all gonna see how crazy I am. Okay. Okay, why are you not going all the way through? This is why. Okay. Okay, y'all, I finally got it done. This is just one of those days where you try to pull it tight and the string breaks and just everything was happening, but finally got it cross stitched. I don't know if you can see that. And the signatures are sewn in. It was kind of a challenge, like I said, to do it on camera because it did not want to do, I mean, I couldn't see the holes or anything. My thread broke. I had kind of a challenge this time, but maybe you have an idea of how to do it. There's the 3 signatures. It's cross stitch, and I'm going to finish decorating and the outside and completing this journal. Thanks for watching and for being patient with me as I learn my camera skills. Thanks. Bye.